The Free Movement Regime, FMR, between India and Myanmar represents a unique cross-border arrangement that allows for the seamless movement of people living in the border areas of both countries. This regime is particularly significant because it underscores the deep historical, cultural, and familial ties that exist between the border communities on both sides. However, the FMR is not without its complexities and challenges, especially considering the broader geopolitical, security, and economic contexts that frame India-Myanmar relations. India and Myanmar share a 1,643-kilometer-long border, which stretches across the northeastern Indian states of Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, and Mizoram, and the Sagaing region and Chin state of Myanmar. The FMR permits the residents of these border areas to travel up to 16 kilometers on either side without the need for a visa. This arrangement is rooted in the traditional practice of free movement that predates the establishment of modern nation-states. The local communities, including the Naga, Mizo, and Chin ethnic groups, have long maintained strong ties across the border, with shared cultural practices, intermarriages, and trade relationships. The FMR seeks to preserve these bonds, facilitating social and economic interactions that are vital for the livelihood of the border populations. From a socio-cultural perspective, the FMR is a testament to the enduring connections between these border communities. It allows them to visit relatives, attend cultural and religious events, and engage in local trade, which is often a lifeline in these remote and economically marginalized areas. The regime is designed to recognize the special circumstances of these communities, ensuring that artificial political boundaries do not disrupt their way of life. However, the FMR is not merely a benign cultural arrangement, it also has significant strategic and security implications. The northeastern region of India has long been a hotspot for insurgent activities, with various armed groups operating across the border in Myanmar. The porous nature of the India-Myanmar border, exacerbated by the FMR, presents a challenge for both countries' security forces, as it can potentially be exploited by insurgents and criminal networks involved in smuggling, human trafficking, and drug trade. This has led to concerns in India, where the central government and security agencies have been cautious about the potential misuse of the FMR. In response to these concerns, India has implemented several measures to tighten security along the border while still allowing for the benefits of the FMR. This includes the deployment of additional security forces, the construction of border fencing in selected areas, and the introduction of biometric identification systems for border residents. However, these measures have been met with resistance from local communities, who fear that increased securitization could disrupt their traditional way of life and hinder their freedom of movement. Another layer of complexity in the FMR is the ongoing political instability in Myanmar. Since the military coup in February 2021, Myanmar has been engulfed in violence and civil unrest, leading to an influx of refugees into India. The situation has further strained the FMR, as India faces the challenge of balancing humanitarian concerns with security imperatives. The presence of refugees and the potential for cross-border insurgent activities have made the management of the FMR more complicated, requiring a delicate approach from the Indian government. Economically, the FMR has facilitated cross-border trade, albeit on a limited scale. Local trade under the FMR primarily involves the exchange of goods like agricultural produce, handicrafts, and essential commodities. However, the economic potential of the border regions remains largely untapped due to infrastructural deficiencies, lack of formal trade agreements, and security concerns. There have been discussions between India and Myanmar to enhance cross-border trade through the development of border hearts, markets, and the improvement of transportation infrastructure. These efforts aim to integrate the border economies more closely with the national economies of both countries, thereby providing a boost to the livelihoods of border residents. The India-Myanmar free movement regime also needs to be understood in the context of India's broader Act East policy. These include the ongoing security challenges, the need for better infrastructure, and the complexities of managing cross-border relations with a politically unstable Myanmar. By fostering connectivity and cooperation with Myanmar, India hopes to promote regional integration and economic development in its northeastern states. The FMR, therefore, plays a dual role in this strategy. It helps to maintain social harmony and stability in the border areas while also serving as a conduit for economic engagement with Southeast Asia. However, the successful implementation of the FMR and its associated initiatives faces several hurdles. These include the ongoing security challenges, the need for better infrastructure, and the complexities of managing cross-border relations with a politically unstable Myanmar. Moreover, the concerns of the local communities, who are wary of any measures that might curtail their traditional freedoms, must be carefully addressed to ensure the continued viability of the FMR. In conclusion, the free movement regime between India and Myanmar is a unique and complex arrangement that reflects the deep historical ties between the border communities. It plays a crucial role in preserving the social and economic fabric of these communities while also presenting significant security and strategic challenges. As India navigates these challenges, the FMR will continue to be a key element in the broader relationship between India and Myanmar, influencing not only border management but also regional security and economic cooperation. The future of the FMR will depend on how effectively both countries can balance the needs of border communities with the imperatives of national security and economic development.